Welcome to the wide world of esports, the show devoted to all things esports. I'm your host, Katharine Nohr. Today, we're talking about the Arkade Blaster. With me today is the founder of Arkade Inc., Joel Kort. Welcome, Joel.
Hey guys, really honored to be with you. Thank you for having me.
All right, well, Joel, I'm sure everyone wonders, what is Arkade and what is the Arkade Blaster?
Sure, so we all grew up playing these first-person shooter games. I used to go to the arcade and play Time Crisis, where you'd reload the game and point at the screen. A lot of us had the Duck Hunt gun. And when we started thinking about getting into the gaming industry, we started looking at first-person shooters. And we thought, wow, there's really something missing here. And so we wanted to kind of realize the dreams of the early first-person shooters. We wanted to make the quote-unquote Duck Hunt gun for every game, for all the modern games, that you're playing on PC, on your mobile, on cloud gaming. So that's where we started. And what we ended up with is the Arkade Blaster. You're looking at the PewDiePie edition that we've done with PewDiePie here. And it's been a blast. We've been all over the world with this project. We've been to China, Ukraine, all over Europe. So it's been a lot of fun. And so I'm hoping to tell you guys a lot more about it today.
Well, before we move on further to learn more about it and about what you do, let's show the video and get an introduction.
What's up, gamers? It's your boy, PewDiePie here. Me and the Arcade guys are very excited to share something that we've been working on, and we're finally ready to show you. It's going to be epic, to say the least, and I don't use that word lightly. Check this out.
So, what do you guys think?
That looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So how does the Arkade Blaster fit into esports?
So like I said, we started looking at video games and we wanted to make the blaster that works with every game. And we look at traditional gaming and a lot of it's done with a gamepad or behind a computer screen. We've been to these esports events, and as exciting as the action is on the screen, the guys are pretty much sitting behind a gigantic flat panel monitor. They're typing away, and you really can't tell what's going on at all. And so with the Arkade Blaster, it's really about moving around. It's a motion blaster. It works in 360 degrees. We've put in incredibly high quality tracking mechanisms, and it's about getting gamers off the couch. And so it's a more visceral element that we're adding into esports space. We want to get these blasters into everybody's hands. And so that's the goal. We're just starting out, but our vision for esports of the future is action esports, motion esports. And I think it solves a few problems that we're seeing with like the esports of today. Number one, it's kind of hard to follow the action on the screen. My partners and I went down to the Activision arena here in Burbank, California. And, you know, the fans were going nuts. Everyone's got like batons they're waving in the air, but you can't see the players. And I noticed a lot of parents were there. And I think they had trouble following the action on the screen. And so if you put a blaster in somebody's hand, all of a sudden they're like this athlete on stage, and you're watching the athlete, not the screen up on the center stage. And I think that's a game changer, literally. That's going to get people interested into this esports, phenomenon that normally wouldn't even be interested.
Right.
The other thing is it's player relatability. We want to turn these players into rock stars, and it's all about, like, you're going to have to work out and you're going to break a sweat playing with this blaster.
Right. Well, the reason we ended up connecting and having you on the show is because I think it was 2 weeks ago, I had a show about the Olympics as an esports event. So this kind of raises that position of that esports athlete into maybe a more visible athlete. Is that right?
That's our thinking, absolutely. So we were planning to go to the Olympics and just have demos outside the parks there. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do that. But that is the goal. We want to get into esports and eventually into the Olympics. I think it just makes more sense to have athletes moving around. I mean, this could extend outside of first-person shooters. You could see all kinds of motion gaming being incorporated into the Olympics, and you're going to see the athletes working out, and it's all about the training. And I want to see people breaking a sweat. That's what I want to see.
Absolutely. And I think anyone who does watch the Olympics would appreciate an athlete breaking a sweat a bit. But, you mentioned PewDiePie, and now let's show the next video, and then we can talk about that.
Here, hold my whiskey while I blast your head off with the Arkade Blaster. All right, we're playing Modern Combat 5. Die. It's like I'm actually John Wick with this. Look at this. So cool. But the best part about this is shooting bad guys. Come on! Ah! That's what I'm talking about. I'm playing Shadowgun War Games. This time, we're playing online. Oh, there you are. Headshots all the way, baby. Nothing but headshots. Yeah! Oh, one more. Yeah! Double kill.
3, 2, 1.
Dead! You're dead! Yeah! Yeah! I won! Okay, I actually didn't win. I saw now that I didn't win, but I won in my team. And I think that's what all matters. With the Arkade Battle Blast, baby. Now, obviously, the Blaster has a ton of games, so it has to have Fortnite. Even Fortnite is cool with the Arkade Blaster. I'll say it. Mobile gaming actually fun? What? Die, Fortnite scum! And it's that easy. That was awesome. Don't call yourself a gamer unless you have an Arkade Blaster.
This is a great example of what you were talking about in terms of creating more personality with the player actually being seen playing with the Arkade Blaster. And for those who don't know who PewDiePie is, why don't you tell them?
Yeah, so PewDiePie, his real name is Felix Kjellberg. He's the #1 YouTuber. I think he has about 106 million subscribers right now. And so he's kind of made his name in the gaming arena. He kind of has brought some games back to popularity. He has this kind of like underground following. And we got introduced to him early on, and he's been really instrumental in this whole process. He actually helped design the blaster. He was there for feedback early on, and he helped with some of the ergonomics and some of the hand positioning and whatnot. And so he's been instrumental in the project, and he's part of the company.
Terrific. So tell us about how it works. That would probably help us understand.
Yeah, so we basically put everything that you need to play games on your PC, on your mobile, cloud gaming, into the blaster. It doesn't rely on your phone. The phone is merely, it's what you need to be able to be mobile, right? But what we've created are ways to play your mobile games here. You can cast your PC games from your PC to the mobile here. And you can basically play any game from the last 20 years, whether it's on the Steam store or from Epic. And really one of our favorite use cases is GeForce Now. Cloud gaming is pretty much the future. And if you're able to hook up GeForce Now on your mobile and you've got fast internet, you can basically play the most high quality games that are out there. So we've been playing, Fortnite, we've been playing Call of Duty, Counter-Strike, and it's just been awesome. I can just tell you a little bit more about this. We've got the trigger, we've got our patented pedal system right here. This is how you move forward and backward in the game. We've got left and right over here, kind of like turn signals in your car. That's for strafing left and right. We've got this dynamic LED display that displays stuff like your health or other attributes. We think this is kind of cool in like a public setting because, there's spectators and they can see what's happening even though they're not staring at your screen. So if your health or you're about to die, maybe it gets down to like a red bar at the bottom. And so we're adapting and we're working on all kinds of stuff to make this blaster the greatest thing ever.
And are those skins on there?
Yeah, so this is the PewDiePie skin.
Okay.
And we're going to be doing other limited edition skins. We have the classic white and orange. We're also doing a black and blue. This one's my favorite.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, and we've got the joystick on the front. This is really cool. So a lot of people are using like motion aiming, but you can also use the joystick if you just want to get lazy and sit on your couch. You don't have to use the motion if you don't want to.
Well, that's pretty interesting. So what was it like? Did you launch this during the pandemic?
Yeah, so we launched right around mid-March, and we launched with an Indiegogo campaign. And so that was an unfortunate time to launch, but gaming has remained really popular, and we feel like we're launching strong to like a strong audience that's out there. There's a demand for gaming hardware, and we're launching with influencers, and that's kind of what it's about these days. That's how you're going to sell gaming merchandise. And of course, we're approaching the Walmarts and the Targets of the world, but a big part of our strategy here is online, and that's how we're going to connect with our consumers. And so we're working with major influencers like PewDiePie. We've got an army of micro influencers that we're just unleashing now. And there's a lot that's happening in that whole influencer area. I'm sure a lot of the viewers follow those trends.
And is this global? How far does it reach in the world at this point?
It's pretty much global. At the conclusion of our Indiegogo campaign, I think we had something like 70 countries that we're shipping to. So I think we've got pretty good reach. North America is a major market. Europe is a major market. But we are shipping everywhere. I mean, we got our goods into the warehouse last week, and they're all being dispatched around the world. It's been a long process. We started manufacturing in China. We got our container delivered last week, and we've been anxious the whole time, and everybody's kind of been following our progress.
Well, so how did you get into this, Joel? I mean, what is your background that caused you to start this?
Yeah, well, I originally come from the toy industry, but I kind of saw what was happening with toys and with kids moving into electronic devices and gaming. I actually built virtual reality headsets with a couple of my partners a few years ago, and we were building virtual reality headsets, but we realized that we wanted to play in a market where there was more content, and that's when we started looking at first-person shooters. And so it was really a drive to the gaming space and first-person shooters, and that's how we built this blaster.
So are there applications outside of gaming for this technology?
There are applications outside of gaming. Our arcade is working on related technologies. I can't really talk a lot about them,
Sure.
But absolutely. We've developed quite a bit of IP, and we intend to lock down the first-person shooter space, the motion blaster space, and there are applications elsewhere.
Well, could you see a future where this is how gaming is played? That people, as your video showed, that people get off the couch and they no longer sit on the couch when they do gaming.
Well, absolutely. That's the whole point here. I mean, when we bring this, I mean, before COVID, mind you, when we brought this to parties and to bars and to we went to CES with this in January. We kind of lit up the room. Everybody was sort of gravitating towards this. There's something about standing up, moving around. It's kind of infectious. It's just kind of like, when you're exercising, you get those endorphins. It's that immersive element here, and it's extremely compelling. And so I can see a future where people prefer this style of gaming. I think you're seeing that with virtual reality. It's this whole body type of immersion. The advantage that we have is that the screen is not glued to your face, and you don't have to wear this helmet. We enable you to kind of like see your surroundings, yet you're still immersed in these awesome games. The Arkade Blaster is really the first device that'll let you play a Call of Duty in 360 degrees.
So are they looking at the game? Where is the game projected?
Yeah, I have my phone here. I can just show you how this works. Yeah, the game will actually be played on the phone here like this.
Okay.
Yeah. And
so the person looks at the phone while they're moving?
Correct. You could also play with a large monitor. So if you wanted to set this up on your gaming PC, you don't see in front of me, but I've got a 48-inch 4K monitor. And so you could play that way too. And so I'm up in close at the screen in incredible detail. I can see everything that's going on, and I can play that way too. We've been playing Left 4 Dead a lot that way.
Okay. And so if you were in a theater space or an arena, how would it work?
Well, you could have, if you're in an esports arena, we envision 5 people on stage, and they would each be playing in their independent space, but they would be visible, and you could see them jumping around and moving around. And we would want to add in lighting and all kinds of visual indicators that show what's happening. So maybe when the player dies, all the lights around him turn red, or maybe he drops into the stage. Um,
Right.
so there's a lot of fun that producers could have with this. And, we would be thrilled to talk to those types of people that are making esports productions and doing live events, as well as tournaments online and online competitions. We're more than happy to talk to those folks and partner with them and have a motion esports event.
Sure. Now, during the COVID shutdowns, how has the use of this changed things? I mean, I would think that if you could move around using this inside, that there's some safety elements, but I'm just kind of wondering how the pandemic has impacted just gaming.
Yeah, I think a lot more people are gaming. And I've been reading a lot of articles about people breaking out their old Wii or their old, the Microsoft Kinect and stuff like that, because people were looking for some kind of gamified exercise. They couldn't go out of their homes, but they missed that exercise class experience. And so I think this really fits into that trend. I think people want motion gaming. They're ready for it. A lot of people had Wii. They had Microsoft Kinect. I mean, people had DDR. They had DDR in their living rooms. And there hasn't been a lot of advances in motion gaming for a while. And so we're trying to fill that gap. I mean, that's the dream that we're fulfilling.
Can this application apply to games that aren't shooting games?
It can. I mean, perhaps indirectly. Like we've been playing Roblox with the blaster. So it's not a strict shooting game, but there's like a shooter element in the game. It is really designed for shooter titles, though. Did you have something in mind, though?
No, I didn't. I actually don't have an idea, but I was just trying to think like maybe maybe there's some application and I don't know if you've explored that at all, but I'm sure as this goes on, there will be creative renditions and uses of it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We'll keep you guys posted.
So are you a gamer?
Yeah, I'm a gamer. I'm like a casual gamer. I'm not a competitive gamer, but I've been playing, like ever since the days of Nintendo 64. I've been a first-person shooter. I grew up on GoldenEye. I could write you the encyclopedia on GoldenEye. Lately I've been playing Doom Eternal. We've been playing Counter-Strike on GeForce Now, which has been a lot of fun.
Fantastic. So is there an age range of, like a minimum age of kids that can use this?
Honestly, we have seen kids as young as 4 years old just like gravitate towards this. They see it and they just go and pick it up. And I would say kids kind of intuitively know what this is for. But that being said, I think most of our target market is probably between like 8 and who knows. It goes all the way up. I mean, we have all kinds of people that have supported us on Indiegogo. I think everybody loves shooting. I think people love shooting games. I think it's just it's fun, and we're making it more fun.
So did you do crowdfunding on this?
Yeah. So as I said, we started with Indiegogo. We had a pretty good turnout on Indiegogo, and we're now transitioning into to our own e-commerce sales. And so if you visit our website, you'll be able to purchase the blaster. It'll be available. It's in stock right now.
Oh, okay. So what is your website and how much is it?
So you can go to our website right now and get all the information. It will still drive you to Indiegogo to place the order, and it's $99.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah.
And then are there like pages and pages of instructions, or is it like, I mean, how does someone learn how to use it?
So we have guides and videos on our website. We have a ton of videos on YouTube, and there's all kinds of I want to call them blaster hackers, because there's people just trying out different kinds of stuff with this. We've got a guy that is going to set this up for virtual reality. There's a guy that's 3D printing his own stock for the gun. But other than that, I want to say that it just connects to your devices. It just works. We've made it as simple as possible. There is an app, the Arkade app, that you can use to load game profiles for different games. But it essentially connects as a Bluetooth device to your mobile or to your PC.
You know, I could see where, you know, this could, because it is active, that it could be used for exercise purposes. And maybe they'll have a Arkade Blaster aspect of PE or something someday, where instead of doing typical, running around the track, that you get to actually have a session where you use the Arkade Blaster. What do you think about that?
I could totally see that. I could totally see that.
I think some of the kids that wouldn't fit as well into a typical traditional sports would feel a lot more comfortable in that situation.
Right. Well, when I was in middle school on the rainy days, they'd have us come inside and do Billy Blank's Tae Bo. And so this is the new Tae Bo for those kids on the rainy days.
Well, I think that is absolutely fantastic. Well, Joel, do you have any last words for our audience about the Arkade Blaster?
Well, I'd love you guys to check out the Arkade Blaster. If you want more information, go to our website, check out our YouTube videos. You can just Google Arkade. The blasters are in stock, and so we're shipping now, and we'd love to ship you in a blaster and get your feedback.
Fantastic. I'm looking forward to seeing this everywhere. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you, Joel. Next week, my guest will be Shakir Tanvir. Will discuss esports in India and his team Artemis. See you then.